Stampers, this is Dawn, and today we're going to make this beautiful card. Let me show you up close here. Isn't it pretty? So the card is made with a lot of scraps, which is great. So nothing goes to waste. And then I'm going to show you this brand new tie, which is called the No Slide tie, that makes that really cute tie. Isn't that awesome? And this card idea and the No Slide tie came from my friend Georgia. Thank you, Georgia. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So here are the pieces. We're going to start with the base, and I'm using, once again, the thick Whisper White cardstock. This is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then a piece of the Whisper White regular cardstock. This piece is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then this is your scraps. You're going to have 2 pieces of the silver foil sheet, and these are cut at 1 inch by 4. And I'm also using the Parisian Blossom designer paper, and this is in the mini catalog right now. So I'm using 2 pieces. These are cut at 1 inch by 4, and then this piece is cut at 3 by 4. And then I'm also using another piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 1 inch by 4 for the embossing part of it. All right, so let's go ahead and do some stamping first. So we're going to use the Versamark ink, and we're going to do some embossing. I figured I would highlight the designer paper in the silver, so you can see that hopefully on that piece of designer paper. So then this is the other 1 inch by 4 that also has the silver. Isn't it pretty? All right, so I'm focusing on that, but look at this. Now the ribbon, then we also have the Petal Pink metallic edged ribbon. I was really going to use this, but it has more of a gold when I wanted it to be focused on the silver. And then we also have the gold metallic edge ribbon, but we're going to use the silver metallic edged ribbon. So there's a few different choices that you can pick for this card, is pretty much what I'm trying to say. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stamp our You Are Simply Wonderful, and this is from the stamp set called Bloom and Grow. It's right here. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and grab some cardstock so I can stamp on this. All right, and then I'm going to grab my embossing buddy. The embossing buddy prevents static. I'm going to go ahead and rub that across there, and then we're going to go ahead and ink up You Are Simply Wonderful with the Versamark. Okay, we're going to stamp this, hopefully straight. Don't want to put my head in the camera. So this is cut at 1 by 4, and you want to stamp as close as you can to this one side, and then we're going to pennant the end right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take my silver embossing powder, and I'm going to sprinkle that across that stamped image, just like that. Okay, so let me clean this up, and we'll grab our heat tool. Okay, so this is the heat tool, and it's going to get very, very hot when you're embossing, so you want to be careful not to put your fingers over the heat part of this tool. And I'm going to, I think this is to 2. Yeah, I'm going to heat it up to number 2. And then you can see the embossing powder change when it melts with the heat. It's like magic, seriously. So beautiful. Okay, so this is the embossed You Are Simply Wonderful. Isn't that beautiful? And when you run your fingers across it, it raises it a little bit. But that shine is so pretty. All right, so now the idea with the designer paper is to get more mileage from your designer paper when you're cutting it. The Whisper White piece is cut at 4 inches wide by 5 1/4. And when you cut your designer paper, since the paper is 12 by 12, and when you cut this at 4 inches, you're going to get more mileage from all your pieces that you're going to cut with this card. So then also with these layers as well, cutting them at 4 inches makes it go a little bit further. Okay, so first we're going to layer our silver foil sheet onto the top and the bottom of our 4 by 5 1/4 piece. Let me grab my snail. Okay, then we're going to take our 3 by 4 piece, and we're going to put adhesive along the back side, just on the edge, And then I'm going to make sure the designer paper is facing the correct way. And then also with it being like a written designer paper right here, you can line it up really nice to make it straight. So we're going to line both of the pieces underneath the 3x4. Just making sure they line up just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and put adhesive on the whole layer. Okay, then this piece is going to get layered onto the base over top of that silver foil sheet. Just like that. All right, now we're going to take our You Are Simply Wonderful. We're going to grab our scissors and I'm going to flag the end. Just like that. I'm going to actually cut this down a little bit. Okay. Then this is going to be adhered to the designer paper as well, right there. So I'm attaching it right above that petal pink color designer paper, right there. Okay, now before we put this to our thick whisper white, we're going to do our bow. So let me grab my ribbon. Okay, so I have this is the silver metallic edge ribbon, and this is about 14 inches long. So the idea is that you just want it long enough to wrap around the card, just like this, and then you're just going to have enough of a tail, like this, to tie. Okay? So let me show you here. We're going to grab our crocodile. You can use a punch. I'm using the smallest of the two, and this is the, let me see here. This is the 1/8 punch from the crocodile. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch a circle here, right about there. The idea is that you don't want the circle too big, so your bow or your tie does not show that punch out, okay? So we're going to go ahead and take our ribbon and we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut the ends at a diagonal so you can feed this through that circle. And I'm going to do both ends. Okay, so the first, we're going to take one of the ends, we're going to start at the back, we're going to feed this through the circle punch to the front. Like that. Okay, so we're going to pull this up right here, and then we're going to take the rest of the ribbon, we're going to wrap it around, making sure it's straight. You have time before you actually finish the card to make sure the ribbon is straight, but we're going to pull this ribbon here that we pulled through and making sure that there's enough room here to send that other end through that circle to the front. Grab that. Okay, so there we go. All right, so now you're going to pull this, pull it tight. Okay, so you have two tails here, let's call them tails, and then you're going to put one of your tails underneath the ribbon, just like that. Then pull it again tight and adjusting the ribbon where you want it. There's not too much play since we punched the hole, so you're going to have to be around that area. You just want your ribbon straight and then also straight on the back so it's flat. And then it's just a matter of tying your tails and making your knot. Just like that. And then trim your tails. Isn't that awesome? Oh my gosh. I love all kinds of ways to tie bows because I know a lot of people, and for me, myself, I struggle tying bows myself. So it's nice to see another way, because there's many, many ways to tie a bow or to tie ribbon onto your project. So this is just another fun way to do it. And plus it doesn't make your card bulky. if that makes any sense. All right, now we're just going to go ahead and put dimensionals on the back side of this, and we're going to pop it up onto the thick Whisper White. Just going to pop this piece up onto the base of our thick Whisper White. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so now let's go ahead and add some champagne rhinestones to the center of the flowers. So pretty. Oh my gosh, I love this card. All right, so not only because I used a lot of the scraps, but I'm also learning a new way to tie the ribbon. And here's the other one. Now, I hope you give this no slide tie a chance. I'm sure you'll fall in love with it. And then also using your scraps. All right, so if you have any questions, just let me know. And I'll have all the items listed below. And then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.